Hi, and welcome to another preview of Holiday 2012 Project Parade from StampAcademy.com. Today's project is a little Halloween lantern, and this lantern has a tea light in the center of it, and you can see through it with vellum. So each panel has a different stamped image. So I shut the lights for a moment so that you could appreciate how the candle glows from the inside of the lantern. And the way it does that is this little tea light that is inside. So it's a little battery operated tea light. This stamp set is Toxic Treats, and you can certainly use any other stamp set that you have that is Halloween. So you're going to need a bunch of black cardstock, 4 pieces of 3 1/4 by 5 1/2, 4 pieces of 2 1/2 by 2 3/8, and then 2 pieces of this 1/2 inch by 3, and then 1 piece of 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. All of these measurements are on your PDF, which is located right below this video. If you are visiting us from another site, you must go to the StampAcademy.com website. This video is under the free video section as well as the Holiday 2012 Project Parade section. So if you just click on that link, it will take you to the page where you see the video and then the PDF below. Next, you will need 4 pieces of 2 1/4 by 2 3/8 vellum cardstock, and then the rest of the things that are on your PDF. The first thing that we're going to do is die cut the oval frame shape from the Apothecary Accents framelits. And the Apothecary Accents framelits has a bunch of different shapes in it. The one that we are going to be using is this one here. If you're interested in how this storage was done, you can find that in the free video section as well. So you're going to take your multi-purpose platform that came with your Big Shot, and you're going to keep it unclosed, which is what you always do when you run your framelits through. You're going to do 4 of these, and you just line this up on your cardstock, and you're going to put that between 2 cutting plates, and then you're going to run this sandwich through the Big Shot. Next, you're going to take your little 1/2 inch pieces here, and you're going to score them on each side at a 1/4 inch. So go ahead and do both of them. Next, you're going to take your piece of black cardstock. This is the 2 1/2 by 2 3/8, and you're going to score it at a 1/4 inch. The next thing you're going to do is take that black piece of cardstock that you've just cut out with your framelit, and then you're going to take that piece of black cardstock that you just scored, and you're going to center that right there on that framelit. And then you're going to take the smallest oval from your Labels collection. This is the Labels collection framelits, and again, my storage option on a magnet sheet in an empty stamp case. You are going to take that framelit, and the ridge is the cutting side down, and you're going to center it on top there. Now, I want to make sure that this does not move because I want this perfectly centered. So what I'm going to do is take a Post-it note, and once I have that Post-it note, I'm going to trap all of those papers in between and stick it to my multi-purpose platform on top of the cutting plate. I'm then going to take my other cutting plate and cover it and run this whole thing through the Big Shot. When this comes out, you are going to have both of your pieces cut, and you're going to pop those out. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to use a Textured Impressions folder to do a pattern on this piece. The Textured Impression folder that we're going to be using is Lacy Brocade. This is in our Holiday Mini Catalog, and we're going to take that out, and we're going to take that piece that we've just die cut, and we're going to put that right there in the center. You're going to take that Textured Impressions folder and sandwich it between 2 cutting plates, and then you're going to put it on your multi-purpose platform on tab 1 and run that through the Big Shot. When that comes out, it's going to give you a nice deep impression, and you're going to go ahead and do that for all 4 of the pieces that you have cut and die cut. You're then going to take your vellum, and you're going to stamp the Toxic Treats images onto the vellum pieces with StazOn black ink, and you're going to center them on the vellum as best you can. Once you've done that, you're going to take these pieces that you have, and you're going to center the image in the center of your window here, because these are going to go right here. So you're going to be able to see through the window. So you want to line those up centered. So what you're going to do is just put a little bit of adhesive. I like to put it on here because I know that that's not going to stick out. And then just take your image and just line that up. And it's okay if you have to move it around to be centered, because you can always trim off anything that you don't want on there. And then go ahead and do that for all 4 of them. When I adhere these, I keep that scored panel to the left, because when I put this together, that's how I want it. So now this one's going to be a little crooked because I guess I stamped it a little crooked. So that's okay, because I'm just going to put it on neatly. Then I'm going to take my paper snips and just snip off those edges there that I don't want, because no one is going to see those. And do that for the rest of your images. Next, you're going to take your sticky strip and you're going to apply that sticky strip to the little scored panels that you have on each of these 4 pieces here. So you're just going to line that up, and it should be exactly the size that you need, which is 1/4 inch. When I have all 4 of them done, I'm just going to take my little score tool and I'm going to score it so that that adhesive portion is the part that's up. Now that they're all adhered, I am going to take off this protective backing on my sticky strip and just peel that off of each one of these so that I can adhere them together to form the inside of the lantern. Okay, so now once you have those off, what you're going to do is take each one and you're going to adhere it to the next. So you just line up that edge and then adhere it. And then just go right ahead and do the next one and the next. So now when you adhere this, this neat part becomes the inside of your lantern, and this, what we're going to call the sloppy part, for lack of a better word, is going to be on the outside. So you're going to adhere this final piece, and that's going to give you this square, and that's the inside of your lantern. Next, you're going to take those 1/2 inch pieces. These are 1/2 by 3, and you're going to score those at 1/4 inch as well. And you are going to adhere one on top of the other in a crisscross pattern, and we're going to do that using a mini glue dot. So we'll just take a mini glue dot, put that right there in the center, and then just stick one on top of the other. Next, what you're going to do is take these ends here that you scored, and you're going to just fold them up on both of them. Once you have them folded up, you're going to take a little piece of sticky strip, just big enough for that little 1/4 inch piece, and you're going to put that on each of the 4 panels that you've scored. You're then going to take your last piece of black cardstock and your 2 3/8 inch scallop circle punch, and you're going to punch one out. Take your paper snips and you're just going to snip in toward the center on every 2 scallops. And that's going to give you this scallop with these little pieces sticking up. I'm then going to take a piece of sticky strip and I'm going to put it on the inside panels here, because this is where that little scallop is going to sit, and my tea light is going to be right in the center of it. So I want to make sure that this sticks well. So what I'm going to do is apply the first piece of sticky strip and then peel off the backing, and then I'm going to apply a second piece in like a crisscross. Next, we're going to take our tea light and we're just going to put that right in the center here, and we're going to fold those little edges up so that they're hugging that tea light. So you just want it to get the shape of it. And then that is just going to sit right there in the center of this whole piece. The next thing we're going to do is just remove the adhesive backing from all of these little tiny panels of sticky strip that we put on here, because this little seat for the tea light is going to sit inside that lantern. So I'm going to put each little flap flush with this edge here so that the tea light will sit flat. So as soon as I get it where I want it, I'm just going to press it in. So I'm holding them up because I don't want to get them to adhere too early. So now I'm going to do the last one, and again, you're just going to bend it in until you can find that little sweet spot where you need it, and then just press. So now that sits right in there, and my tea light can go right there in the center. And again, I'm going to pop this out. I'm just going to pick these little scalloped edges up a little bit, just so that when the tea light is in there, it kind of hugs it so that it doesn't move. Now you're going to go back to the ovals that you cut out, and these measure up to the windows right here. So I'm going to put a couple of mini glue dots right around this frame here, so that once I touch it to my other frame, it's just going to stick right in there. So when I'm doing this, I'm making certain that the front is the part that sticks up, and then this part actually is recessed. So once I have that, I'm just going to line it up over the window, and you can see where it belongs. And then you're going to just push that through, and it's going to stick. Now when you put this one on, it's going to cause this one to bow out just slightly, which is fine. I like that look. So you're going to go ahead again and just put a mini glue dot on all 4 interior sides here. And you're going to keep going around in a circle here, matching up your windows. And it's very easy when you have the light on with the vellum, because you can see right through it. So you're going to get that lined up, and then I put my fingers inside to press, and you can see that it just bows out right here on the sides. And I'm just going to give that a little squeeze because I want it to do that. And then I'm going to do the last one. Now what I'm going to do is take my little paper piercer, and I'm just going to pick up a mini glue dot, and I'm just going to stick it right here on this edge where the 2 pieces are going to touch, and I'm just going to have them touch each other and give it a little squeeze. And I'll do that all the way around. So now that your lantern is adhered, what I would like you to do is take your paper piercer, and you're just going to pierce a hole right here in your lantern. And I'm trying to catch this edge back here because I want it to be secure. Just be careful that you don't get your fingers. And then what you're going to do is exactly the same thing on the opposite side, and try and get that right there in the center. And again, watch your fingers. So now you have these 2 little holes, and you're going to take some wire. So what I've done is I just took a piece of wire and I just twisted the edge so that I could hang this. And what you're going to do is just feed one side of the wire in here, and then the other side of the wire in here. Okay, and then you decide how long you want your lantern to be. And then you're going to take this edge here, and you're just going to roll it up into a little spiral. So what you're going to do is just roll it into a little spiral. So I just did my first little corner, and then I'm just going to squeeze it between my fingers and then just go around in a spiral. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to make that edge look nice and neat. And just keep going around until you have the approximate length that you want here. So I want it to be a little bit shorter, so I'm just going to keep going around in my spiral until I get it to the length I'm looking for. Once you're happy with that, you're going to take the other side and feed that back through the hole that you made on the other side. And then you get it just to the point where it's about even. And then I like to bend it up a little bit just so that I know what I'm working with and I know that it's going to be even. And then what I'm going to do is, again, I take my paper piercer and I'm just going to force this little edge of the wire to go around in a circle. And then do the same thing where you just squeeze it between your fingers and continue to spiral it. Once I have those in there lined up, what I'm just going to do is just put this in here and bend it a little bit because I want it to stay in the shape that it's going to be. And so that's my little piece that I hang. And then I just take my tea light and put that right there in the center, and it's battery operated so I can turn it on and off as I need it. So that's your Toxic Treat lantern, which is another preview from the Holiday 2012 Project Parade over at stampacademy.com. If you have any questions, the designers are always available at mail@stampacademy.com. And if you like what you see, come over and visit us at www.stampacademy.com.